Alright, here comes big story time. So let me get this as perfectly explained as possible. So let's start from the beginning to the end. I'm gonna try to do this the best I can. I'll probably jump around a little bit. It happens. If I was gonna do this frame by frame, I would really have to write this whole story down, etc. So January 28th, 2017. Let's flash back to that, to Saturday night. Now, I had a whole lot of friends when I was young. I was known this, known that, whatever. So called over a couple of my buddies. We all about to do the same shit we did any other night. So they come over. Now this is a regular occasion. So they come over. It's um it's probably, I'd say, around like 7 o'clock maybe. So we're all chilling, we're all smoking weed, whatever, listening to music, freestyling this, freestyling that. So I'm gonna cut kind of right to. I'm not gonna explain really. I mean, there really wasn't much that happened. It was just a normal night, chilling, doing the same shit. So all of a sudden we're just sitting there. Now we got music playing, whatever. The kid who shot me goes into his bag and he pulls out a gun. Like he pulls out a little piece. So we're all sitting there. We're just like, okay, it is what it is. Like, so now this is where it kind of got a little different. So it was me, him, two other of my boys. We're all chilling in the room. And his girl. His girl's there. Mind you, never had his girl over since it was a little weird. But he pulls the gun out of his bag. Now he starts waving it. In the two other kids' direction. Now, that's one thing, is I've always been a protector. I've always been fearless my whole life. As a youngin', as whatever. Even to this day, I'm still fearless. There ain't nothing that puts fear in my eyes. So, but he pulls the gun out of his bag. Now, he's joking, but like he's waving it like this, like literally dancing with it, like he's pointing it at the two other kids in my room. And now I can see it in their eyes. They're scared as shit. Like, they're scared. Like, I mean, not everybody, like I will say as a 15-year-old, not everybody's really built like me. So, he start waving it around, whatever. He's joking though. He's like, who wants to get shot? Who wants to get shot? So I'm like, what the fuck does he mean? So instantly, I'm sitting on my couch. I had a couch and a bed in my room. They're on the bed. I'm on my couch. I stand up instantly. It really didn't take no time. I wasn't gonna, like, feel me? I looked at him. I said, yo, put the shit away. I said, because at the end of the day, we're sitting here. There's gonna be an accident. Something's gonna come out of this. Something's gonna happen. You're gonna fuck around and fuck up. So this is where it never makes sense to me. So he goes from messing around with them, joking, playing games, whatever, to when I stood up, no words were said. It went from laughing to straight face. Like, straight face. And he just turns, no words said, puts the gun to my head. So now mind you, he's got it like maybe like right here, like maybe like a good like 4 or 5 inches away from me. Like it's at like the end of my brim. So me thinking he's my boy, what do? I lean into it and I say, you're not gonna do it. Because I'm really not thinking he's gonna do it. And now at this point, the barrel's up against, like I feel the barrel on my skin, like it's literally pressed up against my head, like on my forehead. So told him he's not gonna do it. Whatever. He pulls it back, racks it back. Now, he was older. He was 19 years old, so he's not a teenager like us. He's not fucking stupid. You feel me? So I saw him. He watched the bullet set in the chamber. Whatever. He puts it back to my head. So now, at this point, yeah, of course, as anybody would be, I'm a little fucking pissed. So, like I said, in the moment, I'm really not thinking he's going to shoot me. So, feel me? Like, if I knew, yes, I would have smacked the gun out of his way. But let's not talk about what would have happened if I knew. Whatever. Let's talk about what really happened. So, when he put it back to my head, it was like pressed up against me. But, like, the first thing I could think of is I lunged, like I jumped, like kind of tried to almost like make him flinch a little bit, kind of just flinched at him just a little bit. So so gun goes off, boom, I fall down, I'm on the floor, I'm bleeding, whatever. Now the only thing going through my mind, because like it was very like it's really like the movies when you're on the verge of death, like you really see like your eyes almost closing slowly. So the whole thing, my only thought process, like my only thought going through my head was, I really just died, I really just died, I really just died. And that's like, it kept repeating in my brain. Like, it's almost like it was stuck. And so, yeah, so, those kids, everybody, like, leaves me to die. Everybody, the 2 kids I stood up for, every one of them runs out the room instantly. So now, come to find out, this is like, I was in a 6-day coma or whatever, so I mean, I didn't know anything that was going on, really, but I was in bits and pieces. Like, I remember, I swiped blood off my eyes. I guess that's what the cops told my mom, like the first responding cop. I guess I swiped blood off my eyes, and then he tried to grab my hand, and I guess I reached up and grabbed his hand. So, like, at this point, like, I mean, I guess I got a chance, but, like, I really should be dead on the floor right now. Like, my heart never skipped a beat, nothing. So, yeah, so, basically, I'm on the floor, and I remember also, one other thing I remember, this is actually prior to that cop showing up, the first responding officer or whatever. He grabs me by my shirt, my brother, my oldest brother, and he picks me up. And I guess he thought I was dead because my body was just, it had nothing to it. Like, my whole body is limp. I just fall back, like my neck, everything. When he grabbed me and picks me up by my shirt, and he just screamed in my face, "No!" And, like, as loud as he possibly could. And I remember hearing that. And, yeah, so that's, after that, he actually ran out. Now, mind you, all these kids are gone. The only one that, my dad actually was sleeping on the living room couch. And he actually grabbed one of the kids. Not the one who shot me, but one of my boys that was off to the sidelines. He grabbed one of them and literally threw him, like, it was a little funny. And I didn't know this until afterwards either, but grabbed one of them, literally threw him into the bathroom, like the bathroom tub. And I guess the kid, like, fell down and was, like, looking up at whatever. It was funny, you feel me? But, so, yeah, so, basically, like, they're trying to figure out what the fuck happened, who the fuck shot me, where'd the kid go, because that's one thing, my family, they're not going to play about that shit. And the motherfucker who shot me, better thank God he didn't stay around long enough for them to know that he shot me, because that's one thing I would say, is he wouldn't be here today. So, basically, the kid runs, cops end up getting up with him at the top of the hill. Now, this is when I woke up out of my coma, like 6 days later, whatever. This is where it really struck me, as he said it was an accident, but this is where me as myself and a lot of other people who were smart enough to piece it together knew this was no accident. So, mind you, his initial story to the police when they got up with him up the street, up on top of the hill of where I lived, first he said that, kids screaming next door, whatever. But first he said, he's looking for the kids who shot me. Like, I'm looking for the kids who shot my friend. I'm looking for the kids who shot my friend, whatever. So, that happens. Then, one of the kids, so he dropped the gun on the scene. Pretty dumb if you're trying to kill somebody or trying to whatever, I mean. So he drops the gun on the scene. Now, one of the other kids that I stood up for, actually, I guess, grabbed the gun and ran with it. And long story short, he goes home with it. And my oldest sister knows his mother, because they used to live near each other, whatever, grew up together, whatever. So I guess his mother actually was the one who saw him, I guess, with the gun, tried to put it into his dresser. Like, literally ran home, tried to put it into his dresser. Now, mind you, she's already thinking, like, usually when you go to his house, you don't end up back until like 1, 2 in the morning, and that's if you come home and you don't stay there. So now she's already thinking something funny. So I guess when she saw him, this is what my sister told me that she said, I guess when she saw him putting the gun in the dresser, she fucking yelled at him, I guess, got on his ass about it. Like, was like, what the fuck is that? What happened? You're going to tell me everything. Mind you, he's got blood on him. I mean, I guess the blood's, like, when I got shot, it kind of flew everywhere. I mean, I have it on blankets. I have it on a whole bunch of stuff from when I was a kid. But she actually grabs him and makes him bring the firearm back to the police. Like, back to my house, to the cops, hands the gun over to the cops. Tells the cops, yeah, like he shot him, whatever. So, now, I'm going to this is where I'm going to bounce around a little bit. So, he changes his story. This is after the fact of me waking up. He changes his story to, he thought he had it aimed a little above my head. Now that don't make no sense to me because if you thought you had it aimed a little above my head, you wouldn't have had the barrel underneath the brim of my hat. Then he changes it to he just wanted to hear the click of the trigger. Then it goes to he thought the gun wasn't loaded. So now to me, when I woke up instantly, my first thought is this is like once I found out that it was my own like day one boy who shot me. I said this isn't clicking to me. Like this was no accident. Like he's making up too many stories. This too much shit left out. Not enough real. Like okay, and then at the end of the day, you really shoot your boy by accident. I'm sorry, but like, put me in that shoes. Like, if it was truly an act, nor would I ever have pointed a gun at any of my fucking friends. But so put yourself in his shoes. I'm sorry, but I shoot my boy by accident. I'm gonna stay right there. I'm calling 911, and I'm making sure that he gets as much help. And yes, there's a possibility of him not surviving, but at that point, I don't care. That's my day one boy, whatever. So yeah, he runs out, tells the mixed stories. Now, all the kids, they told the cops. Now, mind you, this is where, I know some of y'all gonna give the backlash, whatever, but, so the kid who shot me, actually, he was 19, so he was a grown man. Like, he wasn't no really, like, teenager like us, but, so, he only got 5 years. 5 years. And that was because when I got out of the hospital, I used to go to his court dates, and I used to be a spectator. Like, I would sit there, but I never testified. That the prosecutor actually did. He called me back into some room at one point, and he asked me if, like, I wanted to testify. I'm still 15, so you feel me? Like, I'm still, like, stuck up in my ways, whatever. And, like, that's what I mean when I say I changed my whole life around, like, straight up 360. So, So I'm sitting there, and I looked at him, and right once he said that was conversation terminated. I got up, I walked out, I went back to spectate, made sure I didn't miss him to come out, because every time he come out to his court dates, I just sit there and smile at him like, what did you do? Did you really do something? Like, yeah, that did a lot more to really take me out, you know what I'm saying? So now I'm going to get into possibilities. Why would this have happened? So the only thing, I got two things that I could think of. Now, I don't know if this first one would really create enough hostility between, you know, like childhood friends, but like, we always slap box, etc. I don't know if I said it already, but when I was a kid, that's one thing I was known for, fighting. I mean, I was 14, 15 years old, beating up grown men. And when honest to God, I swear to God and everything, and it's not no cocky shit, but I could fight. That's one thing I could do. So we ended up getting into a like little dispute. Now we didn't physically fight. We was boys, but we always used to do slap box, body shots, all that shit. So we were walking in my living room one day, and we're walking through to go out my front door to leave, and he smacks me in the back of my head. Now this was a week before he shot me. Smacks me in the back of my head. So the only thing I'm thinking is like, well, alright, he just set it off. Like, now we're really about to get busy. So, I turned around, but when I say I smacked him so hard, I smacked the flames out of him. So, he had braces. And, instantly when I smacked him, I noticed, I'm like, oh shit. I'm like, bro, you're pouring. Like, he's literally leaking blood out his mouth. So he pulls his lip up. His whole, literally, like, his braces went through his lip. So, like, could have been an embarrassing moment for him. Could have been whatever. I mean, I ain't gonna say I never been hit in my life or fighting. Like, I've taken plenty of hits myself, but I never picked up a gun afterwards and went and tried to kill somebody. You feel me? Especially my own peoples. So now we're at the point where a week goes by. This all happens, we all link up. Now, I already thought it was weird that he had his girl with him because he never had his girl with him when he came over my house. Like, we was always just boys chilling. So, when he did it, the only other thing, and actually this is something my sister and a couple other people kind of like had brought up themselves, is it wasn't nothing like that. It was he was scared to put the gun back down because, I'm not gonna lie, me as a kid, put myself in his shoes and put myself pointing a gun at me, I probably wouldn't have put the gun down either. I'm not gonna lie. Like, on all seriousness, because I can't promise I would have killed the kid, but I can promise you that you put a gun in my head and you put that shit away, the hands you're about to get, like the reaction of hands you're about to get after that shit, you're gonna be hurting. You're gonna be hurting for a while. Like I'm not gonna let up, but and then I can't promise you I wouldn't have killed the kids with my bare hand, like killed the kid with my bare hands, which a lot of people would. That's why I got expelled from school, was being trained on fighting. Like when I say I really fought, like I really did that shit. So a lot of people say it was fear of not wanting me to retaliate after pointing a gun at my head, which is honestly the most reasonable answer. When I say out of anything I've heard, that's the most reasonable one that I could think of. But to me, that don't justify the fact of shooting your own boy at the end of the day. So I can't tell y'all exactly why he did it. Excuse me. Wish I had an exact answer for you. Now, also another reason I will just throw this little part in there, because I know a lot of people probably gonna be like, oh no, it was probably an accident. It probably was da-da-da. But, so, like a month goes by, and mind you, I'm up in the hospital. I finally got a phone and shit. I had my dad, he ended up getting me a phone. So, I'm on my phone, and, I'm looking, and I'm like, why, like, what is this? And it's the article, and it's saying free face shot. Like all the people that fuck with him are saying free face shot, da da da. Like, so come to find out, I mean, I got people locked up, so get in touch, communicate, whatever. He gave himself the name Face Shot. Now I'm sorry, you shoot your boy an accident, you gonna give yourself a street name, Face Shot? You gonna give yourself some crazy shit like that? No, you're not. You're not gonna do something like that unless you truly meant to do it. So that right there kind of just showed me all I needed to see. And so yeah, months and months go by, everything, I recover and started to get even better and better and better. So like I said, I'm here today. I figured I'd tell a little bit of that story, and yeah, so basically, if it wasn't for my brother Josh, realistically, I'd be dead. So that way, yeah, I'll throw this in because this will mess with people's brains too. I'm sorry the video's so long, but so I got shot at 7. I'll never forget it. 7:54 p.m. I made it. I got transferred to Normal Rockville, Connecticut General Hospital, whatever. So they had no trauma unit, no serious medical attention for something as serious, like and severe as my situation. I didn't get life started to Children's Hospital until 9:30 p.m. Now, mind you, I'm surviving. My heart never skipped a beat, I guess. That's what they said at the hospital, whatever. So I'm surviving off of a little pump bag, like breathing tube with a pump bag, like their hand pumping it. And so once I got on LifeStar, that was really like, I mean, I could have told y'all a whole bunch of bits and pieces that I remembered of in and outs, but like once I got into LifeStar, that's the very last thing I remember seeing was that's when they must have hit me with some really heavy drugs or some real shit that put me the fuck out, because the last thing I saw was just my eyes completely closed for the last time, and it was the light inside LifeStar. It's a square, bright light right above your face, like as bright as anything can really be. I mean, I would have thought it was God's light if I didn't know any better, but yeah, so that's basically what happened that night. Now, I know I probably left bits and pieces out of it, but it's real hard to get it as perfect as I would like to. I'd really have to write it down on like a script for y'all, really get it frame by frame in perfect order, whatever. But at least this will give y'all a little understanding as to what happened that night in my room. What were we doing? What led up to it? Did I deserve it? Did I this? Did I that? Was it an accident? Was it on purpose? Was it like, what was it? So figured I'd throw this video out there for you guys, and let you kind of connect the pieces to the puzzle yourself, and you tell me what you guys think, and give me your feedback, drop in the comments. I really do appreciate all the love and support the channel's gotten so far. We're growing slowly, but it's happening. That's all I can ask for. So keep just showing love, keep supporting. I appreciate y'all.